time you touch someone, you build an immediate response. You build either a positive one, hopefully that's the case, or it isn't. But we have that opportunity to build that community and that energy that is good. What I've learned is that your ability to be free and to access the energy has nothing to do with wealth, has nothing to do with richness. It has nothing to do with status or keeping up with the Joneses. And I had some cousins by the name of Joneses, and she always loves this story. It's all about you. It's all about you. All of life is for you. Nothing's against you. Your mental acceptance of the ability to accept what Spirit knows for you is your gift. Use it wisely. Share it. Never hoard it. Express with it. Allow it to be. You receive from Spirit exactly what Spirit designs for you. You must answer the knock at the door. So as we celebrate our nation's birthday, let this be the day to acknowledge your own personal day of freedom. Your own personal day of freedom. You celebrate the being, the free being that you are. Makes me think often, and one of my favorite is Louise Hay. And she always says, as you do your mirror work, when you look at yourself, love yourself. Be honest with yourself. Look at yourself. And today when I put my left contact in, I just thought, it looks like 100 miles of bad road around that eye. I know it's all part of living and expressing. But golly, there's rough roads sometimes. I hate that 7 magnification. Not a good thing, not a good thing. Something else I want to share with you as you acknowledge your own personal day of freedom. And I found this very interesting. It's about Dr. Charles Fillmore, who was instrumental in the co-founder of the Unity movement, which is one of the metaphysical teachings like religious science and science of mind and Christian science. But he was in his 90s when he said this, and it's a wonderful quote. It says, "I fairly sizzle with zeal and enthusiasm as I spring forth with a mighty faith to do the things that only can be done by me." Isn't that wonderful? Gosh, to have that kind of fire. Fire and the passion is wonderful. I love that. But what I know for Dr. Fillmore is his source of energy is the same as yours and mine. It's not different. He might be a little more exuberant. He might be a little more on fire than we are. But so many times we tend to look outside of ourselves rather than looking within. Everything that we need to do has already been DNA'd into us. We have to come true to it. We have to come true to it. A deep connection with the energy of the divine. That's what I want to call it. We never need to look outside of ourselves. We just look within and all the answers are there. And as we speak those answers and know those answers and come true to those answers, we are living the truth of our being. As we direct and love, direct the thought, love what we're doing, and love the individuals that we're living with and enjoying with and celebrating with, then we accept that gift to be free. And we are free to be. The only restrictions, the only thing that hold us back would be ourself. That's self-responsibility again. The requirement to remain enthusiastic in all of life is in your daily renewal. I call it my quiet time. I have morning and evening. And that's the time where I turn inward and go to the source of all things, Spirit. And where I call upon Spirit, and when I call upon Spirit, I get a lot more yeses in life because I'm giving yeses too. But what we have is affirmative prayer treatment, our 5-step treatment. That process is wonderful. We have meditation, thoughtful reflections. We have the opportunity to journal, to read. These are all tools to support you in the renewal on a daily basis. If you are not mindful of daily treatment, daily renewal, and feeding your soul, I certainly think that any time that you pick this up and read one creative thought, which takes maybe 2.5 minutes of that, and live with it that day. Have that as your guide. Maintaining spiritual renewal and practice is the foundation for living the free life that we choose and want. One thing that I have found that living a good life and living my freedom to be that which I choose to be, since I've turned off the television and tossed out the newspapers, there's a lot more enthusiasm for life. All that stuff that was coming in, it's like dodging bullets. Not much fun. And I want to have fun. I want to have fun. I want to direct the spiritual energy. I want to direct the goodness that comes into my life and that comes out of my life and flows into life. To be free is more than a human emotion. Enthusiasm, I love this. I did a little research on this one. It's derived from the Greek word en-thos, or in God. So, in this place of infinite power and infinite wisdom and infinite laws and boundless energy, when we are in God and with God, as God, we're living the truth that designs us to be free, to have no hindrance, to be absolutely, unquestionably free to be. I said earlier, and I want to share it with you again, that this boundless energy is accessible to everyone. All people do not use it. And at times I don't use it, and I'm sure that we all have those days, those quoted days. But what I know is that when we live in that truthful state of consciousness, we're allowing our true soul to be truly nourished. Dr. Holmes shares too, and this is one of my favorites. It's on my mirror in my bathroom where I shave every morning and try to get my winky in. And he says, the spirit is happy, whole, and free, filled with joy, eternal in its existence, and can provide you with everlasting expansion. And what creates a happy soul and a happy being is that as we expand, not only size-wise, but in consciousness, we have that opportunity to live, to be loved, and be the total expression of what being free really means. Today is a celebration, and make it a day to energize yourself. Not only do we have a week, like Reverend Michael said, of 4th of July, but we have this opportunity in being free to release any burden, any encumbrance, anything that is of a negative nature or something that drags you down, doesn't bump you up. We all want to live in an energized, enthusiastic form. We're called to do that. No person, no circumstance can keep you from the natural flow of this divine energy. Being open and receptive, teachable, is an opportunity to allow you to be that which you really choose to be. As we turn to Source, we allow ourselves to be filled with enthusiasm. And in those times of quietness, morning and evening, or if you're reading the creative thought, that gives you the foundation for spiritual practice to expand your life to the good that you choose. In looking through my little file of, I guess all ministers and all practitioners have one of these files, And I do, and this one just popped into my head. I needed a little something here to fill in with, so I'm going to tell you my story here. And Mae West spoke, "You're never too old to become younger." Age is a mental condition. Numbers aren't good. I guess if you need to get into a gate somehow, or you need to have your codes for your Social Security, some of those numbers are good. Or the 3 numbers on the savings account of somebody else's. Those are important to know. But when we live and when we express a youthfulness and a youngness with enthusiasm, that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. So I said, get with the program. Get going. We're going to have that thrill of the grill in a few minutes. I see them running in and out. It's kind of like a fan waving in the back. Your back is to them, but I'm watching them. They're doing their job. And I'm so grateful. In fact, I think we should give all the volunteers today, Keith and Ross and Kathy, and I've read about salads. Let's just give a big hand. They're going to feed us, and so we're free to be. That's what's wonderful. We're free to be. So when we give thanks to this great power, this one power, and we give thanks to that power that's greater than we are, and we use that power, it will move us through the day with ease and gentleness. When we decide to live in freedom, live it enthusiastically. Allow infinite energy to flow through you, maintaining balance and moving in passion. It is your day to celebrate, your day to sizzle, your life to live passionately, celebrating and acknowledging your independence, your freedom. It's your freedom to grab a hot dog and enjoy the thrill of the grill this 4th of July, this day, and in a few minutes. And as I conclude my lesson, this is something that I wrote several 4th of Julys ago, and I close with this. Freedom is my choice. Love is my desire. Harmony is my perfection. This is the truth I know to be mine, and I let my freedom reign. And my lesson ends.